Ladies and gentlemen, this is Charles Gaudet, and welcome to today's actionable mini seminar on how to create a self-growing business. We're talking about systemizing your business that you can create more leverage, bring in more sales, even when you're not working, and build a business that's not dependent on you. So if that sounds good to you, let me see an amen in the chat. Awesome, cool. See, there are typically, let's go over here. There we go. There are typically two groups of people on this call. Group number one, these are business owners who are making plenty of money, but they're stressed, they're overworked, constantly attached to their smartphones. And these are the folks who feel like they just can't get away. They're eating their lunches at their desks, often find themselves working holidays and weekends, and always missing out on the things like coaching their kids' games, etc., because they just can't seem to get away from their business. And then there's group number two. And these are the folks who love what they do. They do it for free if they could, but they want to make more money. However, their business isn't growing fast enough because they're stuck in the mundane daily operations of their business, and they don't have time to work on the important things and strategies that'll help them make more money. Now, in both cases, they're stuck in a business that's too dependent on them. You see, many people decide to build a business because they believe in personal freedom or they believe in making a lot of money. Some have visions of extended time off with friends and family or themselves, playing golf and traveling. And these are just a few of the rewards that people dream about when they start their companies. But how many of you are actually doing that now? You see, when reality sets in, many business owners discover that instead of freedom, they've actually ended up become enslaved to their business, and they work more hours than their employees. So they say things like, I have no life. And over time, they may start to get less and less excited about going to work, showing up for their business and running it and so forth. So whether you are merely self-employed or you've built a 200-person company, if you're at the center of it, you're the linchpin holding everything together. And if that's you, then you, my friend, are stuck. Like a mouse in a glue trap, your business has got you. And while there may be enormous rewards, there are also substantial costs as well. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about you could be missing out on your kids' baseball games or even the stress that comes with it. So today, we're going to talk about how to fix this and how to build a self-managed, self-growing business that pulls you out of the minutia of the daily operations so you can focus more of your time growing it. So here's what creating a self-growing business can do for you. You free yourself from your business so that your business has the ability to run and grow even when you're not working. Now, I think we're all smart enough here to know that it doesn't mean that you can't just spend the rest of your life sipping on margaritas on the beach. I mean, if you do that, you're surely going to be passed up by your competition really quick. This is really about providing you with the freedom so that you're not working all the time. And when you are working, you're spending the time on the things that actually matter most to your business. It's also about reducing your dependence on key people. Let's face it, you can build a business that relies, if you build a business that relies on a few key superstars, well, that's not actually scalable. And you'll see how to create a business that turns the average worker into a high-performing team player, as well as reducing training times for employees. And that's what you can do when you systemize your business. You reduce the training time for employees so it's much easier to scale. You're also able to produce consistent and predictable revenue, eliminating some of those ups and downs, scale your business operations. In other words, how you grow your business, how do you grow your business without costing you more time and money, as well as make more money while working fewer hours. And look, we're specifically talking to entrepreneurs who are working themselves to absolute exhaustion, taking, I don't know, God knows how much caffeine or stress relievers just to make it through their day. And they're feeling like they're constantly disappointing someone, whether they're passing up opportunities to spend time with their kids or they're constantly missing date nights with your significant others, whatever that might be. See, when you don't have a systemized business and your business is so dependent on you, then even when you're with your family, you're always sort of sneaking away to check your smartphone or trying to sneak in more work while everybody else is sleeping. So right now, you're going to learn how to dramatically increase your income, And I mean, who knows, with the right systems in place, you might double your income, or it could be 10x or whatnot. Who knows? But more importantly, you're going to learn how to scale your business with predictability and consistency without sacrificing the freedom in the process. And building a business that's not dependent on you or any one of your key employees. So W. Edwards Deming, he passed way back in the 90s, but yet he still is a mentor, so to speak, of mine. This guy single-handedly created, or is credited with transforming the car industry in Japan from a post-war wreck to becoming one of the strongest economies in the world. And he said, a bad system will beat a good person every time. See, you need a good business system to take your business over to that next level. And today's presentation is going to help you get that one step closer. So to truly systemize your business and build a business that's completely and utterly dependent on you, your business relies on checklists, flow charts, manuals, technology, like Infusionsoft, for example. And everybody asks, well, how detailed does this have to be? And my response is, well, make it detailed enough so that anyone with a baseline level of skill can produce the same results time after time after time. Now, some of the systems include a step-by-step process where we not only include a text explanation, but we also include an image. And in some cases, we'll include a link to a video where they can watch the process being set up and so forth. This way, anyone should be able to get this done. And I want you to kind of think about it this way. So my favorite drink in the world is a Sazerac. It's actually, a Sazerac is the original cocktail in the United States. And so I want you to think about building a system like mixing a drink. See, I'll go to a bar and I'll order a Sazerac. And if people don't have a checklist or a system, right, for making a Sazerac, what often ends up happening is every person delivers a different result. Some drinks are better than others, and some are downright terrible. But when you're building a system and you're following a systemized process, what you're doing is you're essentially, you lay out all the ingredients and the supplies that people need to do whatever task it is in your business. And then you tell them the order and quantity at which the things need to be added, so that anyone, as long as they follow the same instructions, can have the output done in the exact same way. Just like with the Sazerac, if you follow the instructions exactly as they're laid out to you, anybody behind the bar should be able to make the drink the same way. But again, the problem is the problem at most bars is you get bartenders who make up this drink and they don't write it down, and nobody ever gets it done the same way. And you got a lot of variations, and you get ups and downs. Some people are happy, some people are not happy, and so forth. And then I attended this one bar at one point where this one bartender had all this specialized knowledge. He made all these really cool drinks, and a lot of patrons came to visit because of how great his drinks were. And then when he left, he had all that IP logged into his head. And when he left, the patrons followed him to the next bar. So you see, with a system, you can make it as simple or as complex as you want, as long as it's enough to produce consistent results. And that's when, especially during complex systems, having a checklist is great to make sure nothing gets missed. And I had a mentor of mine who also said, variation is the enemy of excellence. And that couldn't be more true. And when you think about McDonald's, whether you're in Boston or you're in Sacramento, you're going to get the exact same experience and the same food with very little variation. A great system produces consistent and predictable results each time it's executed. McDonald's is one of the most successful companies in the world, not because they have the best tasting food or do they make the best burgers. It's because at the foundation of their business, they have highly developed systems that are foundation for producing consistent, never improving results. And look, if McDonald's can build systems that can train, pimply-faced high school kids all over the world to produce the same results, no matter where they're at, no matter what language they speak and so forth, I certainly believe that you can do that in your business. Systems are at the very heart of a truly excellent and wildly profitable business. So there are 5 rules to systems, and I want you to write these down. Number 1, the systems must be designed so that anyone with a base level of skill can successfully complete the task. You shouldn't have to be an expert. Number two, if your system is difficult to follow, then something is wrong. And think about it. Again, McDonald's is a business staffed by employees, and you might have a bus of tourists pull up at a restaurant, 20 people all rushing in to fill orders, and not a single person ever misses a beat. Thirdly, if it's not a system, it is not a system if it's not written down. You have to document your systems. Fourth, deliver predictable and consistent results every single time. Every single time. Zero variation. Remember, variation is the enemy of excellence. And then five, you want to use automation wherever possible. And with software like Infusionsoft and tools like Zapier, for example, truly we live in a day and age where automation has become so sophisticated that you're really only limited to your imagination for what's possible. So here's just a few examples of some of the stuff that you can automate and systemize. Lead generation, sales conversion, client services, selling processes, production, social media operations, product development. Once again, we're kind of limited only by our imagination, and there are plenty of tools that we can automate. And perhaps maybe in another business training, we can go through, pick a couple of these or so forth and show you how we've been able to automate these in our businesses. That you can use the same information for your business as well. Lead nurturing, multi-channel. I mean, multi-channel right now is more important than ever for generating leads and conversations. And we're talking text messages, direct mail, email, Facebook, and so forth. Segmenting your list so that you're not speaking to the same person at the same time. Customers get spoken to differently than prospects. Prospects get spoken differently depending on where they are in the buying process. New client onboarding and welcoming, all that can be automated. Keeping your billing up to date, say a credit card expires or whatnot, that can be automated, cycling offers and so forth. I mean, we even have automation built in so that we have hybrids. If something requires manual interaction, the automation gets triggered so that it sends an email maybe to my assistant or salesperson or so forth that says, hey, look, you need to do this in this order, and so be it. So that's just a few things that you can automate. The more you automate, the less time and resources it takes for you to remember all this stuff and what you have to do and so forth, and you can focus and continue to focus on building your business. So, one of the things that entrepreneurs tell us all the time, and maybe you're thinking the same thing, is that you just don't have time to build a system. And I get it. Look, we run a business too, and we're running the marketing strategies for many clients as well. So I understand. But the key is that you don't have to build the systems. You don't have to build the systems. So how would you like your employees and your subcontractors to create the systems for you? You see, in our company, anyone we hire, they can take unlimited vacation time. They can work whatever hours they want to work. We just have a really great company culture. But you want to know how we do it? It's because we have a rule in our company that we make as a system. A rule in our company makes it basically building systems becomes a condition of employment. And it's because we follow this one rule. This is the most important rule in our company, that you can't give me or anybody else on the team a headache. And we're really, really serious about this rule. I tell my team if they want to leave early, or if they want to take their day off, or if they want to go on vacation, the company must be able to operate without a blip. And the only way that can happen is if the team creates and documents systems for everything that they do so that the company isn't reliant on any one person. And so they store all their company systems and processes online for the entire team to access. You could do that through Zoho Wiki, Google Drive. There's a company called process.st, as just some examples. But even when I ask my virtual assistant to perform a task, if it's a task that we're going to do again, my assistant has to document the process at the same time that it's getting done so that it can be easily repeatable by anyone in the future. Imagine that. Now think of the implications of this. The company is not dependent on any one person or skill because everything is documented and stored online. And because everything is documented, the company operates more efficiently and it can be scaled quickly. And I'm not the only one responsible for creating all of my own systems. So literally, when I hire a new employee, now I can simply point them to the system, and as long as they can follow the checklist, then it's done. I mean, how many people have processes like this in their business? See, most people would have to set aside a couple hours to train a new sales or marketing person. And you could bet the results would be very inconsistent and vary between person to person. But because I have a documented system in place, it's as simple as handing the system to the employee and then it's done. So we're constantly building systems, constantly. I heard the CEO of a billion-dollar company being interviewed, and he said that he wouldn't even worry if his number one competitor got their hands on his business plan because they're just constantly building systems. And by the time the competitor caught up with them, the CEO said his company would be 10 years ahead of anyone. So build a culture of building systems. And now I show you the pictures of my family and I on vacation because look, the ultimate dream is that you can take off whenever you want and know that the company is predictably bringing you leads and sales every day. And a good friend of mine, an awesome business strategist, Paul Lumberg, he once asked me this while I was in the Cayman Islands. We're on the phone and he said to me, "Charlie, will your business be better off when you come back than when you left it?" And I just thought, wow, that was just a really, really great question. And that's what systemizing your business is all about. So your salespeople are predictably following up, your clients are being supported, that social media is being managed, that articles are being posted, that emails are going out, just all of it. The entire company is running itself. And that's why it's so critical to build systemization into your culture. You know, when team members have suggestions for improving the system, it's welcomed, it's encouraged. And this is the stuff that, you know, your competition isn't doing. And it's just one more way in which you can establish a sustainable competitive advantage. And you do that, nobody's going to be able to touch you. I mean, seriously, just imagine one year from today, you have automated systems running your business like clockwork. So you can actually go on an extended vacation and know that your leads are being properly followed up on and converted into sales, and your operations are running like a fine-tuned precision machine. And when you come back, your business will actually be better off than when you left it. And this is what happens when you have the right systems in place. So here's what you need to do to take action and get started. Number one, decide what you want to systemize first. And so the way we do that is we look for things that take the most time or require the most skill or are important operations of your business that have the greatest impact on your business. So audit your business. Take the time to write this down. What do you do repeatedly that takes the most time, that requires the most skill, that are an important part of your businesses? Write that down, create a priority. And that's what you're going to decide you're going to systemize first. Then you put your system into action. It's one thing to put it in action and say, hey, look, I got it. Here you go. But the only way that the system becomes successful is when you're constantly tracking and improving your system, that you're making sure that your employees and your team members are following the system and the variation is minimal or completely non-existent, that everything is consistent. So decide what to systemize first, put your system in action, and then track and improve your system. And then as a bonus step, build a culture of building systems. So that wraps up today's mini actionable seminar. My name is Charles Gaudette. We're going to consistently put out some more business trainings for you, and go to predictableprofits.com /free business training, or just go to predictableprofits.com and click on the business training. These are all resources for you as part of our commitment to help you take your business over to that next level. So again, this is Charles Gaudette, and take care.